Hey, welcome back, everybody. My name is Prez, and I'm joined by GM Ryan today, and we'll be breaking down what we know so far. This is April 8th, 2024, from the Legacy Cow Overdrive Safe Mode Edition. Hey, man, how's it going? Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, great to be here. Thanks.
Ryan's made a really great infographic for us, and I'll be sharing that quickly. So, what do we know so far from this drop? So, we do know that. Legacy Cal v1.1 was being sold for $49.99, a new villain experience at kenny.com/dc. And between March 29th to the 4th of May, where it finally sold out, which is it's got like 3,544 editions. Um, so we can see that, yeah, that's where it is. And it's finally been sold out. So the only way we could get this um, NFT PFP drop for the first base version, because we know that um, there's going to be four drops this year, and the first of the four drops has been sold out already, and the only place you could get it is from the marketplace. Currently sitting at $67, which is a really a come up, and it pumped all the way up to 77. Today it might even go up there again, but I'll explain to you guys why we think that is, and why that happened. So you can pick some up from the marketplace, and just some quick statistics. And Ryan, please feel free to it's not just me, but you could just jump in anytime. But so far, 600 as of recording this video, there's 651 safe mode editions that's been crafted. There's 2,796 listed out of 3,544, and we could see that all these stats. This is the beauty of the blockchain. We can follow, like the action of what's happening, what are people doing, and it's really, really, really interesting. And yeah, we can see recent sales and everything else as well. But yeah, that's it for history, pretty much. Pretty much that's history of what's been happening. And and then afterwards, after the sellout, pretty much the next day, people, because sometimes we talk about market psychology. um People want to take a, if they can make a quick come up, they would. So, but the people that sold between the sellout and the snapshot really, probably missed out on what we were talking about, the overdrive patch, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So the overdrive patch would be, um, it's like it was selling between like $30 on market open, up to like, well, now it's selling for like $13. But you need this and the other one, um, to basically craft the safe mode version, right? So yeah, there was a snapshot. What do you think of this? This was really clever, right? I mean, what they've done so far.
Yeah, and I think part of it is introducing the potential new user base to the overdrive function, right? Where the beta was specifically you needed to own, one of the fandom discs, and not everyone had those. They wanted to avoid some confusion there. So I think this is just prepping the user base for these new type of events, and which is why they decided to give us the first one as like a freebie type thing. And be like, hey, look, this is kind of how you do things, and we're going to be going to more exciting events in the future. It's just a cool way to do it.
Yeah, and the other thing I was gonna say was, right, 49.99. We've seen it happen from back cows. What was the first thing they did for back cows? They airdropped us, the you know parts of Gotham City, like the maps from Gotham City. So I was expecting airdrops from the Legacy cow. It's hard to call out something that's not been announced. Obviously, I'm not saying anything, but yeah, this happened suddenly. What your initial your initial investment, for example, or when I say investment, the initial money that you paid, 49.99, you can sell it for 67 plus 10.99. That's what, about my master bad, but around $90, which is like almost double of what you paid for, so it's pretty crazy, like, to be getting on now. And then obviously, sharing this tab, this is the safe mode edition, we can see that, we've got how many days from now, from recording 8th, up to the 15th, to actually put the cows, the legacy cows, into safe mode. So yeah, and we don't know as well, when we put this on safe mode, because I have got it already. um, I can have a look at the results of what I have. And Ryan, did you say you did one?
I did one, yeah, challenge myself.
So when we talk about this, I did two, but what we don't know is how it is, because it doesn't say 1.1 safe mode edition, right? So we can only assume that if this is the safe mode edition for all four drops this year, we don't know if, there might be a possibility that the v1.1, which is the initial drop, might be as rare as these rares. It depends on how many get burned for the rare, you know, and why you'd want the safe mode edition either. Like right now, there's a lot of things that we don't know, from what was gathering. But
Yeah,
okay,
and the teams being perhaps purposefully vague on what the remainder of the drops are going to look like, the numbers. Like we're assuming it's going to be like 1.2 or 2.1, and then safe mode is going to be edition 1 or 2. We don't know, right? I think they're really just holding their cards close to the chest, to see how many people craft in this round before they make any final decisions on things.
yeah, it's very interesting. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to share my screen for your infographic again, and then hopefully, we can go through this string of events. You know, so okay, so recap again for the audience. So the first drop happened, sold out. Legacy Cal V1.1 drop, 49.99, sold out. There was a snapshot and an airdrop on April the 5th, for the patch. You need both to craft the safe mode, which is tiny pictured here. But for this to happen, and will be delivered. Well, we don't know when it'll be delivered, but we know when the cutoff date is. So we have a few days from this video. Hopefully, release this video ASAP. Um, then afterwards, well, should we do some notes? You put some notes here. So you said it's not going to be used again in the future, right? So it's going to be it might be one of those items where it's like the batteries, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no plan to release them again. So in itself, there's no utility, but it becomes a collectible. And we know what people like to burn. People like to usually burn high editions, but uh,
And
it'd
I
be
think it's
interesting.
important to note too that unlike the battery, these can be sold
These can be
immediately.
sold
Yeah.
100%, 100%. So we've seen some funny. When I say funny, but we've seen some overpay, right, on the low edition disc as well. So it's pretty, and also we don't know if most of these get burned, or if less. When we play rarities, if half of them get burned, is 1,500. It's pretty collectible, right? It's like it reminds people of the
Mm-hmm.
first event. Um, you'd imagine the crafting will be. It feels like it goes together with the 1.1 of the first Legacy Cal actual collectible drop. So 1 + 1 equals this, basically.
Yep.
What else? So each Legacy Cal variant will hold exclusive clues or okay. So we're jumping a bit. Okay, so let's go. No, but let's talk about. Okay, so the next point is the voting. So the voting is going to be April 17 to 18 for the May crafting event. So this is actually, we're going to be probably emailed some choices. And you know what, guys? The funny thing is, your voting power will multiply based on the number of legacy cows you own. So if you have 9, you have like a stake in the in the decisions being made.
And I think it's also important to point out that all the variants and safe mode do count. They have explicitly said that.
Yes, yes, both of them. Yeah. Yeah, they don't discriminate between the the evil and the quote unquote good safe variants. And what we do know is that there will be a component sale for the crafting, so which is $9.99. And yeah, as you mentioned, we can craft the base versions or the safe mode version that we've done, making the safe mode version even more scarce, and actually the base as well. So it'll be an interesting thing, because I think a lot of people will be crafting it into safe mode, not knowing they could do more safe modes in the additional sales. So I don't, yeah, these are speculations, but yeah, we're gonna touch on a bit.
Right, right. I don't think they've actually said outward that there's going to be more safe mode editions for every sale. I mean, again, there probably will be, but they've been very
Yeah,
careful
they
not
haven't.
to outright
Yeah, they
confirm that.
haven't. And you know what I think as well. The funny thing is I'm sure, because Candy Digital, they did this. They rendered themselves, so they've split from anyone else like that's 3D that's rendering it. They rendered this themselves, and I got this info from Mr. Ward. So you know, there is an element of the community saying, "Oh, we want this and that," and if enough people scream, then you never know what will happen.
Right.
So it does feel like exciting to be making this video, sharing our thoughts and see what happens. That's all we can hope for, potentially. So if you do have any suggestions or comments, should we have multiple safe mode variants, or should this be it for all? Comment below. Let's see what happens. But let's just talk about quickly about v1.1's potential significance, right? Potentially, because I mean it's the first one, right? And it's the first one that rotates. We do. I mean, people are attached to like first appearances, especially for rotating 3D collectibles. So like they this space they go, okay, it's the first appearance in a comic, and someone even said that the chapter 3, that was his first appearance in a cover, right? But obviously the first appearance of the DC comic on chain was, well, he was mentioned, but the legacy Cowl wasn't actually in the comic book. He was missing. He was talked about. So it's crazy how we're so early. We're still splitting the first appearances and stuff, and this is like a first appearance of a 3D collectible. It's pretty funny to talk about this, but hey, man, this might age well. Who knows, right? Who knows what the values of these were gonna be like? As decided by the community. But I think it's worth just talking about. So when we talk about exclusive variants, right? And when we say like, okay, you know, let's just blow this up. So when we talk about this, we go, you know, you can use the base edition or the safe edition plus the component being like on sale to basically show. And I think there's enough space to show us now. Yeah, that's fine. To show the Legacy Cal 1.1 May variant. So,
And they've
with,
stated that this holds true for any other variant that they're going to put out, any other overdrive variant. This is just the example, right? That we know for sure something's coming in May. But for
yeah,
the back Cowl Legends or the Harley stuff, it should hold true.
that's right. So if we go through quickly the different variants. So by holding a back cowl, will we get an exclusive variant? Now, would that be for 1.1, or would all Legacy cowl drops be different? Because as you said, there are going to be 4 different sales this year, around 2,800, like different ones, right? So we don't know what it's going to be called, but we know that these Legacy Cal variants are going to look different, and they're going to have different base appearances. So Legacy Cal 1.1 base would even look more, have even that thing where it's the first time we've seen it, but I believe it's because it's from different factories. That's what's been hinted at Hawkman's video with Mr. Wards, that oh, it might be in different factories. So when we see this play out, so the funny thing is we're doing these crafting, but actually how it's going to turn out as a story in the comic book is also open ended. I think that's the biggest factor that we have to talk about today is we're doing all these things on site on the kenny.com/dc site, but actually a comic book could potentially be written. I mean, they haven't even confirmed that either, but hopefully there will be. Um, so, but I think the fact is they have these 4 drops. They spaced it out. There's 3 more drops. The first one sold out to match the number of back cows available, 11,544. Now, it's like, okay, should I wait till the second V2? If let's say you missed this one and you go, well, it's like $70 now. I'm not gonna buy that. I gotta buy the patch as well. $90. I could get it for $50 and then wait for another airdrop, right? Because potentially, but this is it. Like the 1.0 disc might look different for the next patch, right? Because they said that patch won't be used anymore. The base version would look different. So from a collector's perspective, it depends if you just want to ride one of the 4 experiences, or you want to collect every variant, because we've seen the unique user count. There's 2 out of 3 people have one legacy cow. It's a pretty wild stat, especially so we can see where this is going, right? Like people might want to pick up from. So I purposefully haven't said how many I was gonna get, just because usually I don't want to I don't want to be blamed if it was under retail. To be quite honest, that's probably the main reason. But like I did get 10 for myself. And what do you think? Are you expecting the next one to sell out faster, or it kind of depends, right? What are you thinking?
It depends on what the events look like up until that point. If they come out and show that each variant will produce a different outcome depending on the base or safe mode base, then the completion and collector's mindset will kick in and be like, well, I need 4 versions. I need the sub versions of these 4, and I need to keep the safe mode on the original, and that will help promote it to sell out. I think if it's the same, if it's the exact same cowl, which I doubt it'll be like 1.1 again, I do not think it would sell out.
Oh, no, no, they confirmed that the second, third, and fourth base would look different. So it might be a different paint, because we voted on the shape specifically, right? So you can't assume a different form, because we did vote on that. But what we voted on was a sketch version, right? We never said what the paint was going to be. So they do get us like that. But it's pretty cool. I think they've done it really well. Like they've spaced it out really well. I think it's going to do well. I mean, I want new people in as much as possible, but at the same time, if it's the same people buying, and this is why I say, like, we've got a Backcal exclusive variant coming. Let's dive into this. We're gonna look forward to the Backcal exclusive variant. That's been confirmed. Now we don't know if that Backcal exclusive variant is gonna be only for 1.1 or with the 1.1, because what was said was we're gonna have lots of different variants running around, lots of different legacy cow looking, but it doesn't feel like any of them is gonna be one of one. We don't know, but it's like the one of one is what makes the back cowl, what the crown jewels, because these have matches, and they have exact same looking ones. All right, different edition numbers, but anyway. So yeah, we're gonna have a back cowl exclusive, so you need to hold the back cowl. Again, this is to be confirmed. Is it a snapshot of a back cowl, or do you need to hold it at time of crafting? Much like the overdrive was, the beta overdrive, you needed to have the back cowl to do that first one. And then the Harley exclusive variant, it's not been confirmed if it's charms or boxes you need. Or hell, a comic. It's not been confirmed, has it? But what are your bets? Obviously, it has to be either charms or boxes. Any thoughts?
I think it would have to be the boxes. I feel like that's like the core item. I feel like people would feel like misled if it was the charms, but hey, they could do one of each. Who knows, right?
Hey, do you think that the rarity of the box will affect the variant?
It would be a pretty genius idea.
That would be pretty evil. And yeah, so don't blame me if the boxes pump after this. But it is what it is. Anything is possible. It's meant to ignite, speculation and discussion, right? And obviously, what would perfectly make sense is, and there's two different Legends of Gotham City. So these were the quizzes given out, and only a handful of people did it, under 70 total, with like 40 each or something people. And usually it's the same people as well that have both. So if you're in the Legends of Gotham for Gotham City District Night Watch, which is the back house, um, again, we don't know if it's going to be 1.1 only or all the drops different for this variant. Now, why I feel like it might be different is for the reason of they confirmed that more people could join the ranks of Legends of Gotham City. So that means if they did it the same, won't the first batch of people not feel as special? Because this is really, apart from physical things being shipped to their house and stuff, this is their ultimate NFT. All right, they have the badge and stuff, but this would really show for the. And I'm not a Legends Gotham, disclaimer, by the way. Do I have an account that I want to be one? I'm kicking myself. I missed it. Um, you're one of one. You're one of them,
I
right?
am, yeah.
Oh, you are. Are you for Legends of Gotham for both, or just the one?
No, on the Harley side, I missed something on the Cowl side at some point.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
there's two. So if you think about that, really, and oh, by the way, we're talking about variants. The base version is a core. The what I'm speculating on is the back cowl, the Harley, and would be an epic. Did I miss another one? Was there another variant? Uh,
I don't believe so. When I wrote that little box, I double checked like their
yeah,
announcement.
Harley Legends of back cowl. Yeah, and then the Legends of Gotham. You expect it to be the rarest because it's the least amount of people that could do the craft. Um, and yeah, that's all we know so far.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and yeah, I mean, for me, the money question is: should the base legacy cal affect overdrive crafting results? Now, of course, what that means is if I go and use the 1.1 over at the fourth crafting, that would be so cool if the result be different. But obviously, we can't. The window closes, so we know now that the window isn't. What we do know from today is the safe mode window is locked. Now, what we don't know is if the variant window is going to remain open. But it would make sense that there is a window per crafting. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it looks like if it's different, you can use 1.1 for the second cell crafting, the third cell crafting, the fourth cell crafting. If you have the V3 crafting, you could use 1 and 2 and 3, etc. It's it will to me it will unlock more opportunities. It would create some crazy scarcity because things will get burned all the time regardless. But what are your thoughts on that, man? Should we have different
Yeah, that's
things?
that's a loaded question. I think yes, because obviously I think we like the collectors like smaller batches of items with unique properties. But I
Yes.
think that's probably a lot of work on the Canyon
Yeah.
team. Like maybe it's a small change, like, but you're talking about after the fourth batch goes on sale, for every single event they do, it would multiply the amount of variants they need to produce by 4 for the challenge, which I don't know if that's sustainable. Um, but I feel like they probably should announce something like that soon because what's going to happen is that people are going to start holding the 1.1 because the further in the future it gets, that will be the one that has the most, and they might want to hold on to it to the very end in case they get a unique. I think after the second batch sale, that should become clear, right? Because in any event after the second batch, you'll be able to tell right away if there's two variants or not. And then you'll see, I think, a pretty decent drop in the 1.1 price if they both produce the same outcomes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for resaleability, and then that's a great point. Thank you. Um, it's just like this, right? We've known that half of the back cowl minters minted a cowl and became inactive. They didn't participate anymore. So that's a pretty surprising stat. So they're trying to wake those people up. So I was speaking to Spicy in Spaces, and he was like, well, if we could just reactivate all those new, like, old users, there's enough people that, because, 11, there's enough people to actually sell out each sale uniquely. But what we do know is there is there is the batch of people, 1,000, 2,000, that do mint, because, there was like 2,300 unique users. So let's just say 2,300 unique accounts. If you're going to rely on the same amount of people minting 2, 3, and 4, like I'm talking like 70%, I'm not talking 100%. Would the base appearance be enough? And then what? You're gonna see the exact same crafts? So for me,
That's very
it's
true.
like, I mean, it's probably gonna be different looking crafts, but if we're saying that it doesn't matter if you have one, two, or three, but what if people just want to buy one of each? But then I guess that's enough. One of each, 2,000 out of 3,000, it's the same result. Like, people are just buying one. It's ingenious, but what it does do is it does make you want more from the next sales, because now you know what you're going to look forward to. Probably less speculation for what might happen, but we don't know. It might look completely different, the V2 crafting, right? We don't know if it's going to be a patch. Is it going to be something else, some other collectible? What are
Is it
the
going to be the fandom discs again? You never know.
a and plus, what are we voting on? We don't know what we're voting on still. So, oh, any final thoughts?
Yeah,
And
no, I think the graphic was simple in that this is what we know, but we can talk for hours about what it could be, and I'm excited to see what the upcoming vote looks like. Like you said, I think is it going to actually let us choose what we need to craft, or is it just going to be like a style type thing, which is cool either way, but like will it actually influence what items we need, or other interactions? So I think as more information comes out, I'll try to keep this updated. I've only posted it so far to the DC3 Wiki Discord, but I suppose I could just put it on Twitter so people have an easy access to download it.
that's
But
pretty cool.
yeah, that's basically that's it. That's my thoughts. I wanted to make things as simple as possible based on people's questions, and there's one question that has popped up like 1,000 times today in the official Discord, which is it worth it to craft into safe mode edition? Which is an impossible question to answer, right? And I think we talked about the potential scarcity at the beginning of this, and I think that's like one thing to look at. Like, well, yeah, sure, if this is going to be the only safe mode edition ever, and only 700 maybe people have crafted so far, then I guess it's a little more valuable if that's kind of something you care about. But the team is really trying to push the whole story angle, right? So it's
Oh yeah.
either do you like the original evil Cowl, or do you want the good guy overridden Cowl? And that's really the only thing to base your decision on, I think. Um, if you only had one, right? For those of us who bought more than one, you can have one or two, safe modes, and then you can keep your originals just in case. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Essentially, it's an impossible question to answer. Is it worth it? They have announced nothing to make us know one way or another.
Wow, there is a lot here. So guys, replay the video. I'm sure I'll watch it myself. There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot to think about. And it's kept everyone on their toes. Everyone goes, explain it to me like I'm five. We'll try, but even we're kind of like, we have lots of things that we personally want from this, obviously. But I'm so excited, man. Like, this is so cool. This is like, dare I say it, like, should they have even done the beta? Like, they should just gone and done this like that. It's pretty crazy. I know they wanted to deliver something for the fandoms, but
They needed to for their roadmap. Their
and you know what it
roadmap.
was as well? I'm starting to think now, what if it was just a way for everyone to give feedback on what they want, and now they know, right? Now they're gonna start delivering. So hey, we'll see what happens, man. Thank you for joining me. We probably cut it off here. Is there anything else that you'd like to?
No, I'm all set. Thanks.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Guys, if there's any questions, don't forget to leave like, subscribe, and check out GM Ryan's Discord as well, DC3 DC3.wiki. And any questions, suggestions, You know where to tag me, Prez Web3 on Twitter, on X, and yeah, let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes. This is April 8th, and anything can happen after this. So keep your ears peeled to the Signal and the Back Cave. The DC NFT Discord, and yeah, we'll catch you next time. Thank
So
you,
yeah,
guys.